So anyway, what else is new? Have you been keeping up with the election? Yeah, actually, I have. I've been hearing a lot about this crazy Republican Ron Paul. Some of what he says makes sense, but I've heard there's no way he can win. Where have you heard that? Well, all the major media outlets are saying it. Fox News is saying with the current political tide, he is simply unelectable. Well, you really shouldn't believe everything you hear from news channels like that. Ron Paul is actually ahead in many recent polls, they just don't like to talk about him on television. With the current political tide, he could have a very good chance at winning. In fact, he is the only candidate I would actually vote for. But what about his radical views? Economically, he seems to have the right idea, but I hear he wants Iran to have a nuclear weapon and he wants to legalize drugs like marijuana. You see? He never said he wanted Iran to have a nuclear weapon, he just doesn't want to get into another war out of paranoia. We have over 1,500 nuclear weapons. What gives us the right to have that many and Iran not to have one? We also have military in over 135 countries in the world today. Do we need another war? But what if Iran has plans to use it against us? People underestimate the power of our armed forces. In the worst case, our Air Force could intercept any missile directed at this country before it came anywhere near us, and if we really needed to, our military could wipe Iran off the face of the earth. But why even let them have the weapon? First of all, we sold weapons to Iran towards the end of the 20th century. If we stopped getting involved in everything going on in the world like Ron Paul says, we wouldn't have these problems today and we won't again in the future. Oh wow, I didn't know that. This Ron Paul guy doesn't sound too crazy after all, except for his views on drugs, of course. What is wrong with allowing the states to legalize marijuana? It can be used as a medicine and as industrial hemp for eco-friendly products such as paper and building material. Is that right? But if marijuana were legal, wouldn't everyone use drugs? Greg, you're 26, correct? Yeah, so what? Well, do you drink alcohol or smoke tobacco? Both are illegal for you to do. No, I don't, simply because I choose not to. Exactly, so why not give other adults the liberty to put what they want into their bodies? Then marijuana could be sold in smoke shops legally instead of supporting crime in the black market. It doesn't mean more people would use drugs just as you choose not to use legal drugs. Wow, everything makes so much sense. I should support Ron Paul after all. See what happens when one reads books and alternative sources or information instead of listening to news channels? It all comes together. I'll have to stop relying so much on news television for my news and actually get the facts before I make political decisions like this. That's a great idea, Greg. Thanks so much, Rob.